Welcome to the GameChangher podcast. It's your girl Nat here on a beautiful Wednesday night. Well, here in Atlanta, but it's a little bit rainy, but you know, it's still beautiful because I am in the GameChangher podcast lounge with some beautiful women. And of course, my beautiful co-host,
Nix.
Hey girl.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. So, okay, do you want to introduce our guest? Because, I mean...
Yes, beautiful Juanita.
Oh, thank
She
you.
came all the way from Florida, y'all. Yes. Can you hear me okay?
I'll make sure your mic is at your... Yes, so welcome to Atlanta.
Well, thank you.
Where the players play. I'm just going to let you know that we're closed, so don't think about moving because...
It's too many of y'all down
I'm
here.
going to move in with you. You got an extra room.
You know what, you
I'm
welcome.
saying that and I'm from up north. I wasn't born here.
Right, we closed, so we can sneak a few in. It's kind of like the border. We can sneak a few over the border.
Yeah, I'm coming. They going to let me through.
It's like, I'm going to look up. She's going to be like, I am now a resident of ATL. But welcome. Okay, so what part of Florida are you from?
I'm originally from Titusville, Florida, but I live in Orlando, Florida now.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
And you have family here. So you kind of like Atlanta's no stranger to you though, right?
No, it's like a second home.
Okay. Second.
Trying to make it first.
Second. See what I'm saying?
You thinking about coming down?
I am. I told
That's why I
that.
just said we closed.
Okay.
But I'm moving in her house.
Oh, well,
So
there you go.
She can come on in. I can't say no. So we're going to jump in. So we're so excited to have you here.
Thank you.
And we met probably about, I think, maybe about 9 months ago.
Mm-hmm. Almost a year.
Yeah, almost a year ago. And I remember the first time I heard you speak because you're a keynote speaker, amongst other things, because a serial entrepreneur. But when I first heard you speak, I was like, wow, because I love your story and I love your passion. And one thing that the reason why we wanted to have you here is because you empower women. Mm-hmm. But you have a way to do it that moves them. And so first of all, that we're honored to have you here with us today.
I'm honored to be here.
Thank you. So excited. So I want to, so in our community, a little bit about GameChangher is what we do here is we're with women that are looking to build an empire, right? Yet still working to balance faith, family, self, and success. Mm-hmm. All of those things. Mm-hmm. Right.
It's a lot, right?
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Because we do, as women, as moms, aunts, grandmother, like we do a lot.
Absolutely.
And we tend to have a problem saying no. So, then you put that extra stress on yourself because you don't want to disappoint people.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that usually puts us even in more of a bind because we're trying to be Shira.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes. So let's talk a little bit about your story because one thing I loved hearing is and being able to sit amongst women because I'm going to just keep it straight. I grew up with a silver spoon in my mouth. Not really knowing that it was silver, you know what I mean? Because I just identified. I don't think it was gold. But I grew up with both parents making six figures.
Absolutely.
However, I will say this. Both parents made six figures, but we still suffered in certain areas such as relationship building because they were still working a lot in corporate America. And then still kind of dealing with other family issues that come along with money. You know what I mean? So I just kind of being able to hear the other end of the spectrum, let's talk about it.
Yeah,
a little bit about your story and kind of your upbringing because I bet you, sometimes when you look at your situation growing up, you don't imagine. It takes vision to see
Absolutely.
yourself in a whole different light.
Absolutely. It does.
Yeah.
So, I guess just a little bit about me is I grew up in a very, I guess you could say the hood. I'm just going to keep it as real as I possibly can. I grew up in the hood, and I was born to, my mother is a teenage mom. She had me at 15 years old. So, with her having me at 15 years old, it was kind of like a sibling relationship rather than a mother-child relationship. So I think that's where the shakiness kind of kicked off. But I grew up to in an environment that was drugs. My family selling drugs, my stepfather selling drugs, my mother selling drugs, my grandma selling drugs.
Not, not grandma.
Yeah, grandma.
Big mama
Family
said.
business.
Grandma, it was literally a family business.
So, they said that they were entrepreneurs from
They
the
were,
jump.
listen,
So
no,
I ain't
seriously.
even gonna lie.
I mean, honestly, now I'm glad that you said that, because that's where I got my entrepreneur mindset from. Honestly, is the supply and demand, and I hate to say it that way, but I'm
It is
just
what it is.
being honest. But yes, I grew up in that type of environment, and being that my grandma had like a second grade education, and my mom came from my grandma. So we didn't really have that foundation. I had to learn myself. I had to do a lot of healing myself to be able to move forward with the wounds that I had, from childhood traumas.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty much it. The story can get long, but
Right.
I think that's the basis of like my childhood. And not too much education. My mother didn't have the high school diploma. My grandma didn't have the high school diploma. I was the first person in my family and my intermediate family to graduate high school and college.
Wow.
So what do you think pushed you past that? Like, can you remember any identifying moments of your life that said, you know what, I'm going to be an entrepreneur, but I ain't going to slang dope. I'm going to slang something else. You know what I mean? But were there any other things in your life that you can remember that says, nope, I'm going to do something different?
In the beginning, I just wanted to be a drug dealer's girlfriend. That was the beginning. I was a drug dealer's girlfriend. And I got pregnant. And when I got pregnant, I'm like, I think it was a motherly instinct that kind of clicked in me. Like, okay, girl, you got to get it together now. So I graduated high school, but then I went to work at a nursing home. I was actually working in laundry first, but then they were offering a free CNA program, certified nursing assistant. So I was like, okay, I'm going to sign up for this program. Mind you, I had no idea about college. I didn't know how to register for college. I didn't know about FAFSA. I didn't know about, financial aid, FAFSA, same thing. Didn't know about any of that stuff. So I said, okay, I'm going to step out on faith and do this CNA program. So I did the CNA. I started the CNA program, and my aunt, I was always called the dumb child and the ugly child growing up.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was. But I think it was because I was just always in my own world. And when you're in that type of environment, you always have to be on your feet. But I was just like ditzy, like blah, blah, blah. So it was like, what's wrong with her? She's not, but I was just a different type of child. And I was in this program, and my aunt worked at the facility as well. So I was walking down the hall, and she seen me, and she was like, she basically asked me why did I sign up for the program, that I wasn't going to pass it. I've been dumb my whole life.
Wow.
Yeah. And I love my auntie though to this day. It was a hurting moment, but we have a really close relationship. So I don't want to kind of, I think we all were growing and evolving at that time, including herself, because we came from the same thing.
Right.
So it was at that moment, something just clicked in me. It was like I'm proving anybody and everybody wrong who doubted me. That's not, that's not what I am. I'm not a dumb child. I am going to pass this program.
Right.
So I passed the program. I was big and pregnant. And after I passed the program, I started working as a certified nursing assistant, and then I went and registered for college.
Okay.
And when I registered for college, I went through the steps of doing my prereqs for nursing school. I got accepted into nursing school, and I graduated nursing school and became a registered nurse.
Wow,
Nice.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
When you look back and you think about those moments in your childhood, for a lot of people, it's hard to kind of just keep that where it was, keep that in the past. It's something that just continues to be almost like a crunch, if you will, for a lot of people. I mean, people get into adulthood and they can't shake all of the stuff that they went through.
You know, I can't even shake it some of the times. It's like it's a balance. I mean, I've shook it, of course, but it's still hurtful. It's still something that you have to heal from every day, because that little child in you have to constantly grow, and you have to constantly heal that little child in you. So I don't even think you can really shake it. I think that you learn how to cope, and you learn how to heal that child and be, for me, I look at it as me being a parent for that child, the child me when I was a child. You get what
And
I'm saying?
that takes a lot of strength. That takes a lot of strength. Was there any other components that helped you to kind of get to that point of being healed?
I think my relationship with God. From very young, I had a very close relationship as far as like my own personal relationship with God. And I think between Bible study and church, that was the main thing. And then secondly, my dad doesn't live with me.
Okay.
But he lived at a distance, but he was very much on the phone a lot and very much talking me through my situation. So I think those were the two things, and just resilience. I was like, I had gotten to the point, like, it's almost like a switch, like I want to call it beast mode. And it's, I hate to say it like that.
It's like a hustle.
Yeah.
Grind. And grit.
Yeah.
Like all of that. And that's like, and you really do have to, like, for the women out there that can beat through it, there's a whole nother level of strength that comes with grit and grind.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know they even have it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they have to tap into it.
Until they tap into it.
Absolutely.
And then they'll see that goes for women that can leave, violent situations. That goes for women that have to just like face divorce,
Right.
come up out of the hood. You know what I mean? Like, if it's in you and you activate it, I think probably more women have it than they really even realize they have it. They're just afraid to tap into it. Okay, so let's talk about, within women empowerment, like, what is your hopes? What do you envision for, like, the women that you come across, the women that you meet? What is something that you want to make sure that they take away whenever they're in your presence? Like, what can they take away from?
When I think of a woman in my presence, whenever I'm speaking to her or women in general, I want them to know that the sky is the limit. Nothing can stop you. You're the only person that's stopping you. And if you let your past hinder you, then you're still stopping you. Like, it's your responsibility to heal those wounds, even though you didn't cause them, you know, because it's hindering you from reaching and I think that's what I want to be able to show women: grace, while also pushing them and not letting them make themselves a victim, making themselves a survivor instead. So I want women to see the survivor in them rather than the victim in them, and let them know that, you are loved. You can do it. It's nothing that can stop you.
That's good.
What would you say has been your biggest accomplishment at this point? After that aha moment where you said, okay, I am good enough and I can do this. I know there's a few things that you're involved with and you're doing now, involving kids and all of these things. But what would you say?
My biggest accomplishment? I think my biggest accomplishment, I got so many of them. I got to say being a mother first.
Go to drop some of them. Just let me pat you on the back real quick.
Thank you. Well, they're not, what might be a big accomplishment to me might not be to somebody else. But in my eyes, I feel like I've exceeded so well. And I think one of the biggest accomplishments for me is being a mother. And raising my children differently than I was raised.
Say that again.
In the household that I was raising, and giving them grace. Breaking the generational curses, baby.
That curse.
They have to go.
So, we were talking earlier, because your daughter's 13, right? Phoenix, your son is 17.
Yes.
And then my daughter is 15 and my son is 14, right?
Teenagers.
And, all these damn teenagers. But I do see, and we were kind of touching on it a little bit before we kind of started filming, but I was talking to one of my daughter's friends. My daughter and one of her friends got in a little trouble last year, and of course, I try to be a balanced parent, you know what I mean, and not blame somebody else's children, because I feel like I've raised my children enough to know right is right and wrong is wrong, right? But then at the same time, as a balanced parent, I'm like, shit, I've been there, done. Like, I did all of that.
All of it.
You know, so to still try to not sit up there and harp as if what they just did was just unimaginable or unheard of. But one of her friends that she kind of got in a little trouble with a couple months ago reached, and her and her friend actually fell out at the end of the school year, you know, because each person didn't accept their role and responsibility. You know what I mean? It was like that little girl, you know,
Cat fight.
cat fights at school. So the young lady texted me yesterday in a long text, and it just kind of started off with, you know, Mama Nat, first of all, you know, I apologize for my behavior, because see, she didn't accept any responsibility months ago, right? But then when I saw the message, she apologized, she accepted responsibility, she expressed where she was mentally at that time, and then expressed where she is now and what she wants to, you know, do differently, and then expressed that her comfort level with our family of relationship that she just didn't want to lose. So it was two things that could have happened in that text message. One, I could have just ignored it and been like, girl, please, you know. But then the second route was the grace, right? So number one, you know, when I text her back, you know, first of all, I was pleased that she acknowledged her, you know, her error, that what she had done. And I told her, I said, you know, I said the biggest that, you know, I thanked her for the message, and I said the biggest thing that I want to see for her is that, you know, thinking through today, sit down and think through today what type of woman you want to be when you grow up, you know, and then work day by day to be the best version of you, to be the better version of you that you were yesterday. And so as we were kind of just like imparting words into her, you know, and just telling her how beautiful she is, like she'd never heard anybody tell her she was beautiful, you know, and I was just like, you're beautiful, you're smart, you know, you're intelligent. But most of all, and I told her, the biggest thing that I see in you right now is integrity. That you stop to take the time to respectfully reach out to an adult and apologize, you know what I mean, and ask me to forgive you. Of course I'm going to forgive. You're a child. I'm going to forgive you, right? And so when she texted me back all of that stuff, she was just like, you know, Mama Nat, no one's ever told me those words, and I didn't know today that I needed to hear it until now. And I was like, wow. Because the only thing I was just speaking of is off my heart. Like, the same words that I would pour into Carrington is, you know, you're beautiful. Like, I need you to understand that you're a young girl, a young woman growing into womanhood. Like, there's some things that I need you to grasp now.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know, if you want to go right or left. So let's talk about, like, if there are things like we need to grab some of our children now, these young ladies and these young men now, and just being able to stop and speak words into them, speak life into them, versus like, you ain't this and you ain't never gonna be this, and you're dumb and you're, you know, just those words. And I pray that I can witness those words manifest into her adulthood. That makes sense.
Absolutely. Because you planted a seed in her.
Yeah.
You planted a seed, and it may be, you know, at this moment she just heard it, but as she get older, she'll never forget it, and she's gonna remember that I am beautiful, I am smart, I am, you know, all of the things that you were pouring into her.
Yeah.
And most importantly, too, imagine if it had been the shoe were on the other foot and it was your daughter.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know, wanting to have another adult in that situation like you were, and having them impart the same type of feedback.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we know that, you know, in a lot of cases, parents sometimes are a little bit resentful, especially if they feel like your kid is a bad influence, right?
Yeah.
Their immediate reaction is, yeah, I don't think you should be hanging out with someone, so I'm gonna need you to stop, having
Yeah.
being friends with this person. So I think there's a little bit of maturity that comes in that space, but also looking at it from the other side of the lens and saying, how would I respond if it was my daughter or my son in that situation, reaching out to another adult, just wanting to have that acknowledgement to say, hey, I know I was wrong and I apologize. How would you have wanted them to respond to your daughter?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And she sure did. She come back. She was like, "So am I allowed to come back to your house?" And I was now wait a minute. Now let's
Going too far.
right. Pump the brakes. No, I told her absolutely. But then I gave her like that firm level of my expectations,
Yes.
and it's still the same expectations that I would give my daughter.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it really does take a village to raise children in this day and age.
Yeah.
It takes a
It
village.
takes a village. And,
Yeah.
you hear that all the time, but, it's easier said than done, especially in today's time where a lot of people just get so busy and they're just
Yes.
focused on me, my. We've lost a little bit of that sense of just, hey, you have a neighbor next door and you see something's going on, respond
absolutely.
or act appropriate. But in a lot of instances, people tend to be a little bit gun shy by getting in other people's business or wanting to have or deal with anything additional outside of their own situation.
Right.
And we just really need to get out of that.
One thing I would say, when me and their father would have discussions on punishment or things like that, he was really big on, well, you're not finna do this, and this, and I'm gonna take this and this. And I'm like, but what are you gonna put in the place of this? And I feel like the same thing with an addict. You know what I mean? Like, you can't take drugs away and not replace it. You have to put something in its place. I don't know if it's cigarettes. I'm not an addict. You know what I mean? But it's like something has to go in its place. And so that's the thing. So I'm like, so even when we were going through that, he was like, well, no, she ain't finna mess with none of them people at the school. And I'm like, that's not the reality of the situation. So it's not so much you can't have none of these friends anymore. It's like some of these girls like that I know don't have the same type of family structure or love. I was like, I can't just say no, y'all can't be friends anymore. Now I'm sure we haven't reached a scenario to where I'm like, y'all can't be friends. So I don't know where that line draws. I'm just gonna be real. But as far as the things that I've seen happen, and like the little teeter that they've in the fire that they've messed with, it's enough for me to say, well, instead of saying that they can't have these friends anymore, I'd rather spend time with them more and their friends.
Absolutely.
Because it's something that they may not be getting
Yeah.
that our kids are getting. And it's not that we can save everybody, but if these 4 or 5 kids that are attached to our child, that they really have, like, they really hold each other down, good and bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, what can I do different in their life?
Exactly.
Instead of pulling them away.
Exactly. That's awesome.
You know?
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
And Juanita, you mentioned also having some level of engagement with young kids.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
explain what that looks like and what you've been doing.
So I was gonna say, well, with the kids, I was gonna say, Natalie, I completely get what you're saying because my daughter's 13. I don't allow her to have TikTok. But when you take something from a child, they try to find a different way to replace it. And I caught her with TikTok. So, I replaced it with volleyball. She's in volleyball now, but I had to sit down and have a talk with her. Like, my children and we have like really good conversations. Like I don't really talk. I'm your mother at the end of the day, but I understand emotionally. I understand that kids are just trying to learn who they are, and you have to give them a little space to figure it out, or else they'll lash out. And I was a teenager myself, so
Right.
I needed that space, you know. So I give her enough room to be able to make the mistakes, but I talk her through them because I want her to trust me. You get what I'm saying? Because if they're gonna do it, They're going to do
They're
it.
gonna
Yeah.
do it.
There's nothing that we can really do about that. And we know that. Well, I know that. I'm not going to say we. I'm just going to, take responsibility for myself. But I know that from being 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old. So, but that's what I was going to say. I replaced it with volleyball, and her friends, she's not allowed to stay at anybody's house. They all come to my house.
Yeah.
So my house is the hub.
Yeah.
So all the
Mine
teenagers
is
come
too. I'd
hang
be
out.
like, Lord, I love all of y'all, but y'all about to eat us out of house and
Right.
home.
Yeah,
Y'all need to bring a
absolutely.
snack.
Oh, they get up and clean up at 7
that's
o'clock
good.
in the morning. Yeah,
Yeah.
we clean. They do their part. I do my part. But I'd rather that than her be out in other places.
Right,
so I try to
right.
make it as comfortable as I can for her to be able to express herself and learn herself, while I still can kind of have some type of control. Not really control, but see what's going on
Oversight,
around her.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is so good.
Yeah, thank you.
That's good.
So with the kids, I was just telling Nat earlier, we are the mothers of the earth. So when you say it takes a village to raise a kid, it does. We are. I don't look at just my children like that. They're my children. Every child I see is my child,
Yes.
even though they may not have been physically birthed
Right.
from me.
Right.
It's my responsibility of being a mother to make of any village to make sure that the child is well taken care of and safe, and So I do a lot of volunteer work in my community from where I came, because I feel like I got to give back, because I do own a tax preparation company.
Okay.
So we host events once every summer to do financial literacy camps, and I
Nice.
bring all the men for free.
Okay.
We do lunch, we do
That's awesome.
games. Yeah, I bring other people in that I collaborate with.
Yes.
That's who may be more advanced in that area, because there's some areas that I'm not good in. So I love to collaborate with people to make
Yeah.
sure the kids get the full
Yeah.
experience.
That's awesome.
So
So we need to take a road trip
yeah,
for that.
come on, I
Like,
would love to
any
have
excuse to
you
go to
guys.
Orlando. We'd be
Right.
like, I'm sorry, did you say you having brownies on Saturday? Okay.
I'll have brownies for you
And
on
excuse
Saturday.
to travel, period.
Yes.
Calm down. So yeah, it's for me, it's very fulfilling to watch the kids to be able to be exposed to something that they wouldn't have been exposed into their household, and not because
Right.
their parents don't want to give it to them, because their parents just don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like I said earlier, planting those seeds for those children are very important for me. So
I love it. I
thank
love it.
you.
That is so cool. Okay, so now we're going to pivot. So welcome to our game. This is the GameChangher edition. The only game.
Let me
Pursuitopoly.
throw it out there because I know where she's trying to go, and she's gonna go.
I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
I was
Let me
ready.
drink my wine.
Yes.
Right.
Right. So let me just ask you. How do you pronounce that? You need me to turn it around for you?
Pursuitopoly? Pursuitopoly?
I say
That's what I said.
so
but
I say
maybe
pursuitopoly. She says
the
pursuitopoly.
the T is silent with Nat. So it's a running joke between us.
Yes.
Okay.
Because of her roots, she pronounces it a little bit different.
I
So
don't know if it's the roots.
I think it's the roots, darling.
Where are you from?
I'm from the Caribbean islands, Jamaica.
Oh,
Jamaica.
Jamaica.
That was a British accent, though.
It was a
It
British
was.
accent.
We
Because I
did.
was going to say,
So
girl,
we-
you're from.
No.
We
I
messed
love
up.
the accent, but that's as far as it goes.
So welcome to the game. So what we're gonna do is, hand named each position on the board, and each position on the board is really something related to, just our lives as far as faith, family, self, and success. So, and in building this empire. So it could be like some of these positions will relate to either one of those areas in our life. So when we roll the dice and we land on a particular position, then our goal is to either think through something that where we've successfully gone through, or something that we're going to work on as far as challenging ourselves in this next coming week.
Oh,
So-
next week?
Yep,
Oh.
because we're here every Wednesday. So
Oh, but
This
I was going to say, gosh, I got a next week.
I know,
Okay.
right?
you're more than welcome to come back though. But what we want you to do is just kind of roll the dice wherever you land. You have like just kind of a minute to talk about that position. So we're going to let you be the teacup down there.
Okay.
But we have to have
With the hearts.
Yeah.
some goals.
Yes.
So this mirrors the Monopoly game. Obviously, you can see a lot of the structure of the game is the same. You start from go. So yeah, let me just fix that. So yeah, you're good
Do I
to
pull
go.
a card or just roll the dice?
Just roll
Roll
the
the
dice.
dice. So
Okay.
4. And move 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so this is breakthrough tax.
Okay.
So we're going to talk about there's a couple ways you can do because you have a tax preparation company, but it costs to break through. There's a cost to it. So either in this position you can talk about either something that you've broken through and what it cost you, or something that you say you may need to break through and you know what it's gonna cost you something.
So I can talk about something I just recently broke through.
Okay.
I think that I know that recently I've gotten to a place where I'm okay with letting people go.
Amen.
Say that again for the people in the back.
So
Hold on, let me give you your glass so we can. We got a toast to that, Phoenix. Let's see. Toast. There's some relationships that we. Yes.
Yes. So let me drink.
Yes. Drink to that.
I've gotten comfortable. I haven't gotten comfortable. It's still very uncomfortable. It's very new for me because I'm a very loyal person. So it's hard for me to break away from people.
Yeah.
But I realize now at this big age,
37.
Walk
35.
37. The baby on the stage.
you guys look like me, so we look the same age. So I'm just gonna say it's 3 babies.
Bless you. God gonna bless you for
Right,
that.
right.
Thank you. I received it. Thank you, Lord. So I think, but it took years. It took years for me to learn how to put myself first. And I realize now that everything doesn't have to last forever, that some people just have seasons in your life, and not even just people, everything.
Yeah.
When it comes to
Yeah.
business, when it comes to anything. You get what I'm saying? They just have seasons, and I have a tendency of holding on to things because I'm like, no, this have to work. And I think it has to do with my abandonment issues.
Gotcha.
So it's as I'm healing that, I'm learning to say,
Yeah.
it was nice knowing you, and I'm learning to let it go without regret and without any kind of ill will. It was still with love. I've learned that I can let people go with love,
Yeah.
and let it just be what it is. So I think that's one
Good
of my
job.
I like that.
I love it.
Thank you.
Phoenix.
We're trying to mind the book, right?
Okay. Family Values Park.
So family values. For me, so my son is 17 and he's getting ready to go off to college very soon. And so I think this is a good one, especially now with him being home. I'm like looking at the clock and I'm realizing that it's not going to be too much longer that he's with me, and that he's going to be, quote unquote, still in a position to hear my voice and follow certain guidelines. Because like once a child gets to a certain age and they're no longer, quote unquote, under your under your guidance, under your household, they are in a position where they have to make their own decisions. So I've been very intentional now, because I know my time is coming almost to an end. It won't ever sever, because your child is going to be your baby, right? As long as they're alive, as long as you're alive. But knowing that at some point he's going to take that parachute and fly off on his own, I've been very, very intentional about making sure that he's hearing the lessons on why there are certain things that you do a certain way and why it is that you don't do things a certain way. And making sure that he understands that and can display that what I'm teaching him, he can display it back to me in return.
Absolutely.
So for me, the values that I've taught him all up until now, it was looking through the lens of adhering and challenging me as a child. But now he's like at that really weird space where he's almost an adult. So it's like, you see a child like getting into, like they start smelling themselves and they start, they want to, and it's fine. You want to give them the autonomy to be able to make certain decisions, but making sure that it's done with integrity.
Yeah.
And so this summer, because I'm like, okay, this might be the last, like, he might be off to college next year. Like, this literally might be the last summer, like, I get to really impart all of what I have inside of me to give him to prepare for what that looks like, being on your own and being out there with the rest of the world and not having the comfort and the stability of that family unit.
Absolutely.
So it's everything. It's like being in the kitchen, or like cooking something or having certain conversations, and just like making sure at the end of the day, he's getting something, he's getting some sort of value from the conversation that we're having. Or if we're going on a trip, or if we're anything, like I'm like intentionally making sure that he's understanding how things need to be done and why they need to be done that way.
Got it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes,
Good job.
that's amazing.
You can come put my kids in your kitchen too.
Okay.
You can take mine too, girl.
He when we 6. Awesome. So triumphant milestone. So this is kind of like our free parking. And this is where we take the opportunity to bless someone in our community, a business owner in our community and that we need to kind of check with whatever we have in our free parking. I think we have like a couple $100 in free parking where we bless an entrepreneur in our community. So that was my triumphant corner. So congratulations. One of the ladies in our community will receive an amazing gift.
Well, maybe I can donate to that gift.
Oh,
yes.
That would be lovely.
I would love to do it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you, girl.
We did not pay her.
Right. But
well, I love what you guys are doing. So
thank you.
Nice.
And you have to come back.
Yes.
yeah, I'm moving in with you.
That's right. That is right. You forgot that.
You forgot that quick.
That is true. Well, we'll see you next week. But so as we get ready to leave, we do kind of our mantra is kind of one for the journey and one for the future. And this is kind of where we just impart something. So you can have my one for the future, and it's just kind of like an advice for someone for the future. So Phoenix is going to lead off with our one for the journey.
One for the journey. So I would say I really just love what you shared and how you've been able to kind of get through what you had to go through as a child and still working through it, but completely turning your life around. Because I know so many situations with people having had a very challenging life, childhood and growing up and family dynamics. And it literally like just almost paralyzes them from being able to move forward.
Yeah.
And so I would just say for the journey is that things that are in the past, just let it go and not allow it to just put you in a stranglehold where you can't move forward and you can't make decisions and you can't get past it. And I know it's easier said than done. And I say this because I see it with like family members of my own, even with like my dad. He's held on to so many things that happened in his childhood and when he was a young adult. And it's almost like he's trapped in that time. He can't really enjoy the present. He can't enjoy where he's at. He can't think about the future because he's stuck there in the past. So my one for the journey is figure out a way to just let it go. Take that chain, that armor, and put yourself in a position where whether that's therapy, talking to a friend, or whatever it is that you need in order to just break free, because that stuff can literally eat you alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And what would you give for one for the future?
So I'm giving advice for the future.
Mm-hmm.
I would say my advice for the future would be don't ever dim yourself for anyone around you.
That's good.
I like that.
I would
one.
say keep shining, and whatever it may be, and know that you can reach anything that is in front of you. And if you see it, it's yours.
Mm-hmm.
Don't, you know, and when I say don't dim yourself for anybody around you, I mean like not on a you know, very superficial level. I
Right.
mean more so on the inside and what you want, and if they can't see it, and if they can't, don't let them talk you out of your vision.
Yeah.
Mm,
Keep going.
Good.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's good.
I love it.
Well, it's been an amazing evening, and I appreciate you ladies. Thank you so much.
We have to definitely do this again.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm moving in with that.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
She's like, cheers to that. So we're about to get ready to get up out of here. So really quick, let them know how they can find you on social media.
Oh, so my Instagram, I was going to get real country on y'all. My Instagram is The Real Goal Setter.
Okay.
Just at The Real Goal Setter.
Okay.
And my Facebook is Juanita Isaiah. That's my first and last name. My YouTube is Juanita Isaiah.
Okay.
And my TikTok is Elite Financials. So.
Nice.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, thank you all so much. It's been an amazing night with these beautiful ladies. So remember to go ahead, like, subscribe, anything to the Game Changer podcast is on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. And then TikTok is Game Changer Pod.
Yes. Yes.
So we're about to get up out of here. Thank you all. Have an amazing night, and we will see you next week.
Bye, y'all.